You're watching Durango News, celebrating Southwest Colorado every day.
Millions watched as the Animas River turned orange from a Silverton mine spill earlier this month, but few saw the Animas recover. Was the massive media barrage more toxic to Durango's future than the spill itself? A Fort Lewis College program that helped students obtain degrees in science, technology, engineering, and math has received a 5-year, $1 million grant to keep the program going. And learn about the assistance programs available to businesses and employees who are negatively impacted by the mine spill. These stories and more on this edition of Durango TV News.
This program is brought to you by Advantage Dodge Ram Chrysler Jeep at 20th and Main in Farmington. Visit today for your best deal.
You're watching Durango TV News. I'm Ashley Dixon. Hundreds of rafters, kayakers, and tubers hit the Animas River on August 18th to celebrate the recovery and reopening of the Animas after 3 million gallons of toxic water was released from the Gold King mine near Silverton earlier this month. But the media coverage of the reopening celebration was a mere trickle compared to the flood of attention that news outlets focused on Durango in the days immediately following the spill. On August 5th, an Environmental Protection Agency team investigating the Gold King mine accidentally released water that had amassed behind a debris dam at the mine's entrance. The water was contaminated with heavy metals and mud impregnated with iron oxide, the element that actually turned the mixture orange. Though dramatic and scary, the amount of toxic water was relatively small compared with the amount of water flowing down the Animas River during the event. And the orange water disappeared within 3 to 4 days. By August 14th, the river was reopened for recreation, just a little over 8 days after the original spill. Mine spills into the Animas have occurred before, but the fact that the Environmental Protection Agency had precipitated the release, the vivid orange color, and the power of the internet soon turned Durango into the center ring of a media circus. CNN, NBC, CBS, ABC, Fox News, the New York Times, and media as far away as London and Australia focused their attention on Durango to cover the incident. Senators, congressmen, Colorado Governor John Hickenlooper, and EPA Chief Administrator Gina McCarthy visited the area to add their political weight to expedite cleanup efforts. But now that the Animas is cleared, along with an onslaught of national media attention, questions about the long-term impacts to Durango's economy remain. Durango Tourism Office Executive Director Bob Kunkel said visitors had a lot of questions during the first few days of the spill, but few left the area. Hotel owners reported few cancellations, and the Durango and Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad reported sellout crowds. As media attention began to spread, Dado, the Chamber of Commerce, and Purgatory Resort reported a significant increase in out-of-town calls from concerned vacationers, but few cancellations. Dado published a fact sheet and contacted previous visitors to counteract the images of an orange Animas River on national television.
Well, again, it was kind of driven by that media lag. Again, we didn't want to get ahead of the story and be the alarmists in it, and yet you have a responsibility to tell people who are coming. So our first wave was sort of take care of those people that were here. And they would come into the Welcome Center, the Visitor Center, and say, oh, I heard the river's closed, what else can we do? And then wave 2, we started to put the word out once we knew that the national press had made it a national story. Then we sent word to about 62,000 of our tourists on our list and just said, here's what we know, you've probably heard, and told that story from there, yeah.
Durango Business Improvement Director Tim Walsworth said that a number of business owners downtown reported an early downturn in retail sales following the spill, and the rafting industry took a huge hit. Gina Piccoli with Coldwell Banker and John Wells with the Wells Group reported that a few out-of-town buyers withdrew pending offers on homes. But both Piccoli and Wells predicted that Durango's reputation as a desirable place to live will weather the media fallout. Impacts to agriculture haven't been quantified, and it's likely that the Durango community won't know what the national media coverage will do to Durango's reputation in the long run.
And certainly the national media picked up on it and kept showing it. You know, it's like a week and a half later, and our river was looking awesome and about to be reopened, but the national mantra was Orange River toxic sludge and beautiful Durango. So will that have an effect? I mean, time's going to tell. I don't know. You know, they say no press is bad press. I'm not so sure if that applies in this case. But what I do know is that our river is perfectly fine. Our river has survived incidents like this in the past. It has a lot of water flowing through it at all times. We had great late snows in the season and good early summer rains that kept that flow going really good. And so that stuff washed through pretty quickly. Lucky for us.
Kunkel said Dato will continue to market Durango's appeal as a destination that offers a dozen vacations in one to try to turn attention away from the spill.
So long term is just sort of debunking and telling the truth, you know, about here's where we are, here's what happened. You don't gloss it over, you tell that story, and now we've moved on and here's what we're doing. And the best thing we can do as locals is kind of, you turn up basic customer service. You do the same things that got us the great reputation that we've had for so many years. We're known to be friendly. People talk to people on Main Street. They like it here, the weather, the scenery. I mean, all those things, that's why we sell it as a dozen vacations in one destination. But we definitely have some brand damage, and we're going to have to pay attention to that and ramp that up as an insurance policy going into next summer. And between that and hopefully some short memories, we'll be, you know, right back to where we are.
Walsworth also noted that the mine spill isn't the first time that the Durango area has had to overcome an environmental disaster and the media attention it draws. The Missionary Ridge Fire in 2002 impacted tourism that season, but the area's economy eventually rebounded.
So we'll lean on experience locally and from our friends and neighbors around the state. And I have no doubt that the messaging will come out that we're a great place and that river's fine, and there's hiking and there's Mesa Verde and there's the train and there's Purgatory, and all the things that there is to do around here will still exist and be hopefully attractive to our tourists.
The bottom line, it's too soon to tell if the media coverage will have a negative impact on Durango's economy going forward. But if there's a silver lining in the cloud of passing pollution on the Animas, it's that the national attention has been focused on an ongoing problem of contaminated mine drainage into the Animas watershed. For the short term, the EPA has completed construction on treatment ponds at the Gold King mine to remove heavy metals from the water before it hits the river. And long-term plans are being developed to continue to monitor water quality on the Animas. But the cleanup of mines in Silverton? It's apparent that a lot of community conversations will have to occur before a permanent solution can be found. Later in this broadcast, La Plata County Economic Development Alliance Executive Director Roger Zalneritis will update us on efforts to reimburse the community for its financial losses. Schools in Southwest Colorado have begun or will soon begin classes during the last 2 weeks of August, so be aware of school zones and school bus safety laws. When a school bus stops with its red lights flashing, drivers are required to stop at least 20 feet before reaching the bus, whether it's on your side of the road or the opposite side of the road or at an intersection. You must remain stopped until the flashing red lights are no longer operating. In Colorado, you're not required to stop if the bus is traveling towards you on a roadway that's separated by a median or other physical barrier. If you fail to stop for a school bus, you could receive a fine of up to $300 and 6 points against your driver's license. So stop on the flashing red lights. You might just save a life. When we return from the break, recovering our losses from the mine spill.
Ladies, seriously hungry right now.
We could go to Serious Texas Barbecue. It's just up the street.
With our new Serious Texas Barbecue app, you can order right from your phone on your way to any of our 6 locations. Be sure to check out our website and download the app to browse our Serious shop of signature sauces. That's SeriousTexasBBQ.com.
Watch me on MeTV. I'm Ashley Dixon, bringing you upbeat, positive news stories from Southwest Colorado on Durango TV News. Catch Durango TV News on MeTV every week at 9 p.m. Thursdays and 8:30 a.m. Sundays over cable, satellite, DirecTV, or the air. Don't miss out on the best that Southwest Colorado has to offer.
This program is brought to you by Alpine Bank, celebrating 10 years of community successes.
You're watching Durango TV News. I'm Ashley Dixon. There's no question that the rafting industry took a huge hit when La Plata County Sheriff Sean Smith closed the Animas River after a mine spill dumped heavy metals into the waterway earlier this month. How will they and other businesses impacted by the spill recover their losses? La Plata County Economic Development Alliance Executive Director Roger Zalnaritis provides a summary of recovery efforts underway at an assistance center established at the La Plata County Fairgrounds earlier this week.
So good afternoon, everybody. My name is Roger Zalnaritis. I'm the director of the Economic Development Alliance, and we're here on location today at the Disaster Assistance Center, a response to the Animas River spill that occurred about a week and a half ago. And I'm going to be interviewing two people, and with me at the moment is Ken Charles of the Department of Local Affairs. Ken, thanks for being with us today.
Pleasure.
Great. Well, thanks. Can you tell us a little bit about what a Disaster Assistance Center is or what it was modeled on?
Sure. Soon after, and simultaneously a lot of times, with response, the recovery process starts. Recovery from disaster. And what they are meant to do is provide assistance to the victims of a disaster all under one roof. So we try and get all the service providers that make sense for that particular event. We have the Department of Agriculture answering questions that agricultural community may have. We have, again, another table with EPA at it, combining with Colorado Department of Health and Environment, answering questions about water quality that people may still have.
Great. And if there's sufficient demand, would it be possible to bring a disaster assistance center back later?
That happens occasionally, and we would identify that specific need, whatever service that would be. You know, and we might anticipate the EPA being asked to help at another time as people get their arms around their losses, maybe a little bit more clear. They might return, and they said they would be open to doing that.
Great. Well, thanks for your time, Ken. We really appreciate it today.
You got it.
All right. And I'm now here with Rebecca Broussard from the Environmental Protection Agency. Thank you for being here, Rebecca.
Thanks, I'm glad to be here.
Great, and I understand that you are helping out businesses and employees with an assistance form the EPA has. Can you tell us a little about that?
Yes, for people who have been affected by the Gold King mine release, you can fill out the standard form SF95. This is available on the EPA website. There's a link right to it, as well as to some instructions on how to fill it out. The form is originally for car crashes, so some of the wording seems a little off, but don't worry about it. Just fill it out with your information. Economic damages are entirely something you can put on this claim form, and we will do our best to route that through.
Okay, and if a business or an individual comes for the Form 95, what type of information should they bring? They want to say, I've got an economic damage. What type of information should they have?
Sure, so I would say, proof of lost wages, your paycheck didn't come because the river was closed this month, any kind of documentation you might have for property damage, how much was that worth to begin with, anything that was appraised afterwards, any kind of paperwork that you can show that shows that your claim is valid.
Okay, and does that, and you mentioned lost wages, if it's a company's closed, that include lost revenues for a company?
Absolutely.
Okay, great.
Absolutely.
So you're here right now at the Business Assistance Center Tuesday and Wednesday. Will the EPA continue to have a representative here for Form 95 assistance?
So we won't probably have a dedicated person, but we will have staff here, and we will have people coming through for various public meetings, events, probably hooked on to some other events in the area going forward. And we will absolutely let people know, put that on calendars, and make sure you all know where you can get help.
Great. And that will be on your website. Is that where businesses can go to find out more information about how to get assistance?
We will have a calendar, and at some point, we also have a 1-844 number, which I don't have on the top of my head. You can call that number. It's a toll-free number, and get some help with the claims form.
So it's a 1-844
I know, it sounds a little odd, but it is a toll-free number. It's 1-844, and I always forget the rest of it, but we'll get that to you, and you can let your viewers know.
And one last question, do you have the EPA website where businesses can find out more information?
Yes, if you go to the EPA website, I'm going to say it sounds a little odd, it's www.epa.gov/goldkingmine, all one word.
Okay.
On there's a link to claims information. It also has that 1-844 number on it.
Great.
The form is on there in a fillable form, and submitting it by email is the best way to go.
Great. Well, thank you, Rebecca. And if you have any questions and you don't remember that website, give us a contact at the Alliance at info@yeslpc.com or 259-1700, and we'll get you directed to their site. Again, thanks, Rebecca, for being with us.
Yeah, thanks so much for being here.
Right, take care.
For more about local recovery efforts and economic assistance available to those affected by the spill, visit the Alliance website at yeslpc.com. A program that supports first-generation college students in their quest to complete a degree in science, technology, engineering, or math has been awarded a 5-year, $1.1 million grant from the U.S. Department of Education. The grant will allow the STEM Cubed program to continue for another 5 years. The program recently wrapped up its 5th year on the Fort Lewis College campus. STEM Cubed is part of the Department of Education's TRIO program that includes Talent Search, Upward Bound, and other support programs for students who are the first in their families to attend and graduate from college. The STEM Cubed program at Fort Lewis College serves 120 students a year. And Director Susan Decker said that the support they receive made a difference in their academic success.
Our persistence rates, they're required. Our objective is 60%, and we have a 99.16%. Yeah, we have very few students that don't come back from year to year. For our good academic standing rates, our objective is 80%, and we have 80.33. That's considerably higher, almost double what the nation does for graduates in STEM.
During the past 2 years, the STEM program has graduated 73 students. A number of graduates have been accepted into graduate school. Fort Lewis College engineering physics major Michael Haas said he wouldn't be starting his junior year had it not been for the support he received at the STEM Center.
This program has been amazing. It's provided tutors, which I probably wouldn't have gone through my past couple of years without them. And it's also provided me a job. I'm now a student worker supervisor here and a tutor.
To learn more about the STEM program, visit fortlewis.edu/STEM3. Up next, our furry friends with the Humane Society.
This program is brought to you by Alpine Bank, celebrating 10 years of community successes.
It's our summer clearance event at Advantage Dodge Ram Chrysler Jeep in Farmington. Purchase a tough and economical 2015 Ram 1500, now just $292 per month. Save over $6,200 on a 2015 Chrysler 200, just $188 a month. The sporty 2015 Jeep Cherokee is over $4,300 off. Get yours for just $236 a month. Or a new Dodge Dart is just $173 per month and make no payments for 90 days.
Visit Advantage Dodge Ram Chrysler Jeep in Farmington or click AdvantageDodge.com.
Tad Brown always had a love for pizza. He dreamed of opening his own restaurant. It all started with a small joint on the corner. Then Alpine Bank entered the scene to help Tad's dream become a success story. And before long, Tad moved to a space large enough for 100 hungry customers. As a father of 2 boys, Tad stays plenty busy. But banking with Alpine Bank means he spends less time on finances and more time making, well, pizza. Alpine Bank, located in downtown Durango and 3 Springs. This program is brought to you by Fast Signs. More than fast, more than signs. Fast Signs.
Welcome back to Inside Durango News. We're here with our Furry Friends feature and Janelle from the La Plata County Humane Society. And we've got some of the tiniest little guests I think we've ever had. These are 5-week-old kittens.
Yep. There's 3 other ones too, but I don't think we could handle bottle feeding 5 kittens.
Bottle feeding 1 is a challenge.
I know.
This is a new task for me. But so these little guys are in foster care right now, and their foster dad was nice enough to bring them over. See, I think they're mistaking now my finger, but you know, whatever.
They're actually at the stage right now where we're trying to introduce them to gruel, which is like soft food or mush for kittens, and they're learning to eat it, but they're also bathing in it. As you can see, they got crusty food
stuff on them, but you know, babies of all kinds can be a little messy.
Right.
So these guys are so cute. So they'll have to be in foster care for a little bit longer before they're ready for adoption.
Until they're 8 weeks and 2 pounds, and then we can spay and neuter them and get them vaccinated and microchipped and ready to be adopted. So
very nice. Well, they're at such a fun stage, and they're so tiny and the littlest noises. So So these guys will be available for adoption in a little bit, but you got a lot of different stuff going on at the Humane Society.
Yeah.
You just had the Bow Wow Film Festival last weekend.
We did, and it was really awesome. Everyone enjoyed the films, and a lot of people actually showed up too at the Art Center, so it was very exciting. And we are just one of their many stops along the way. They're going to actually be at Telluride on August 20th, yeah. And then they'll go to Ridgeway, and that will help out Second Chance Humane Society, which we're pretty close buds with them. So, yeah. So, if you missed out at this Bow Wow Film Festival, don't worry, you can head over to Telluride or Ridgeway to watch those.
And that's just one of the many fundraisers you guys do throughout the year. And I know you've got, oh, this guy's a little jealous too.
He's
now.
like, give me some of that.
I know you've got another one coming up this fall, so we'll just talk a little bit about that because it's, I think, your biggest fundraiser you do all year, the Bark and Wine.
Yes, the Bark and Wine. That's coming up on October 17th, and we're getting ready for that. If anyone wants to help volunteer for that, just contact us. Awesome. And yeah, this should be a lot of fun. We actually hired Celebrations. They're an event coordinating group that said that they'll help us out with this Bark and Wine.
It's not easy putting on an event that size. I totally know. And then other things going on for the month of August, it's appropriate that we've got the kitties here because you are doing a special on the felines.
We are. Not the itty bitties, but we're doing a special on adult cats, 9 lives for $9. So anything over the age of 6 months will only be $9 to adopt.
Awesome.
And that'll end at the end of the month.
Very nice. So these guys have a little while to go, but they are so fun. And it also brings up another great thing. If you are interested in fostering an animal, you can always contact the Humane Society and figure out what the process is for that so you can experience the fun of bottle feeding little kittens.
Oh, look
so
at
for people that want to know more information, the website and the Facebook page for them to go to?
lpchumanesociety.org or visit us on Facebook. Just look up La Plata County Humane Society and you'll find us real quick. And
now you've got
I know. They keep swapping. They want to come to me. They want to go to you. They can't
They're
decide.
wired like that. Thanks so much, Jonelle.
No, thank you.
Next up, we talk about what it takes to catch a trophy trout with Duranglers, and we're also going to check in with Charles Leslie for your Community Concert Hall update.
This Furry Friends segment is brought to you by the La Plata County Humane Society and Pet House. Help us help them, one paw at a time.
Hi, I'm Buck.
I'm Andy.
We're with Duranglers in Durango, Colorado. Okay, my partner Andy is doing a little fishing here on the San Juan. Because there are no rising fish, what we're doing is nymphing, which is fishing subsurface with a strike indicator. You notice how slowly the river is flowing. That may have been a fish or it may not. And as Andy makes some casts, you'll notice that the fly line is what is making the rod work and propelling the rig forward into the river. The casting motion is typically from a front position of 9 o'clock to about 1 or 2 o'clock in the back. A good forward cast is made with a good back cast. If a back cast is sloppy or crummy or breaks down, forward cast is likely to be ineffective. You've got lead split shot, hooks, strike indicators flying around in the air, sometimes close to your head, and there are instances where you get a windy situation, a mishandle could put the fly and the whole rig into your face. The sunglasses give you the eye protection that you need to not stick a hook in them.
I would be fishing a 9-foot 5-weight rod or 6-weight rod with a good drag system on your reel. You never know what's going to happen. Fish can get into this rapid type stuff and bulldog and take you down, and you'll need a good drag system on your rod. Waders if you want. Today I'm going to be wearing sandals because it's a beautiful day and it feels really nice to get into the water.
Brought to you by First National Bank, the bank that built Durango.
Hi, this is Charles Leslie, Director of the Community Concert Hall at Fort Lewis College. We have some great artists visiting Durango and performing at the Community Concert Hall. Sunday, August 30th, Hardworking Americans wrap up their world tour at the Community Concert Hall at Fort Lewis College. Hardworking Americans is a quintet formed by singer-songwriter Todd Snyder, featuring Dave Schools of Widespread Panic, Neil Cassell, Dwayne Trucks, Chad Staley, and Jesse Aycock. The sound is a canny fusion of folk, rock, and remembrance of jam bands at their best. Hardworking Americans is a mission as much as a band, sporting a bold rallying cry for true American individualism, freedom, and community. As the band notes, the deepest thing music does is make people dance, and Hardworking Americans is here to make folks move. Saturday, September 12th, is the Community Concert Hall's annual endowment fundraiser, Jazz on the Hill, featuring Joyce Lyons and friends. For this special event, guests dine on the concert hall stage and are treated to a jazz performance from Joyce Lyons and her band from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Lyons' rich alto has been compared to Diane Reeves and Oleta Adams as she digs into the lyrics and meaning of a song, whether it's classic Broadway, the Great American Songbook, or hard-swinging jazz. Joyce Lyons makes each and every song truly her own. Her performances are both timeless and timely. Seating for Jazz on the Hill September 12th is limited, so get your tickets before it sells out. Details about Hardworking Americans, Jazz on the Hill, and everything happening at the Community Concert Hall can be found at DurangoConcerts.com. This is Charles Leslie for Community Concert Hall at Fort Lewis College, bringing the world to Durango and the Four Corners.
That wraps up this edition of Durango TV News. Next week, the Cliff Palace, the world's most famous ancestral Puebloan site at Mesa Verde National Park, is in danger of crumbling to the ground, and the National Park Service doesn't have the money to stabilize the pre-Columbian village. You can find out how a local foundation hopes to help during our next edition starting on August 27th. In the meantime, if you want to know more about what's happening in Southwest Colorado, go to what'shappeningdurango.com. Post your free event today and join the one-stop, easy-to-use local community events calendar for Durango. Be sure to log on to DurangoTV.com for more local programming. I'm Ashley Dixon. Thanks for watching Durango TV, providing you thoughtful, not sensational, coverage of the people, places, and events in Southwest Colorado.
This program is brought to you by Alpine Bank, celebrating 10 years of community successes.
It's our summer clearance event at Advantage Dodge Ram Chrysler Jeep. The sporty 2015 Jeep Cherokee is over $4,300 off. Get yours for just $236 a month.
Visit Advantage Dodge Ram Chrysler Jeep in Farmington or click AdvantageDodge.com.